Open houses are a giant waste of time. Well, that's the reputation that they have in our industry, and yet I know through firsthand experience with the people that I coach is that when an agent works to mastering the art of open houses, they're actually incredibly effective. Think about this. If you held 20 open houses this year, and each of those open houses had an average of 10 people come through them, that's 200 new conversations you would have this year. 200 new conversations. And I also know that when it comes to the world of lead generation, the hardest thing to get real estate agents to do is actually go talk to people and have conversations about real estate. So why is it that open houses have such a bad reputation? Well, unfortunately, the reason it's what it is because that real estate agents are not trained to hold an effective open house. Like, you'll hear a lot when we talk about what is your system? What is your duplicable system? What do you duplicate every single time? So what is your system for holding an open house? And you can almost see the typical agent's open house. They show up Sunday morning, they've been out too late, they've had too much to drink, or they were at their friends having a good time, whatever happened the night before, but they damn sure weren't really prepared or excited about doing the open house that they had somehow let themselves been tricked into doing on that Sunday. They rush out, they grab their coffee, they're going around throwing a few signs in the ground. They get there 10 minutes before it's supposed to open. There's probably somebody already sitting there in the driveway, if they've done any marketing, which they probably should have done, but most likely didn't do. And then they spend the vast majority of their time on their phone or playing tour guide to those handful of people that show up. And those people didn't really want a tour guide. They just wanted to see the house. And then they can't wait to get out of there because they've got, laundry to do or shopping to do for Sunday to get ready for the next week. Their mindset is in the wrong place. Their preparation is the wrong place. They don't have a duplicable system. They don't have any real good scripts and dialogues for talking to people. And their open houses are highly ineffective. If you study any of the great real estate coaches, right now I'm doing an awful lot of learning from Verl Workman and Workman Systems, and all of them tell you need 3 or 4 systems for lead generation. Now, if you come to any of my training classes or watch my videos, you're going to know that I teach a whole lot about relationship training. If you've read my book, you know that it's all about how to be have deeper, more meaningful, more intentional relationships. So if you know that the vast majority of our business is going to come from relationships, what are the other 3 or 2 or even 1 system that you're going to use for lead generation? Last year, the California Association of Realtors did a whole study on where real estate agents got their business, and the second leading lead generation tool behind relationships, and there's several subcategories in relationships, but the second best thing was open houses. So then why, again, do open houses have such a bad reputation? I'll go back to what I said earlier, and that is that that's because agents aren't holding effective open houses. I went out this weekend to run some errands, and as I was driving by, I saw an open house sign for an agent that I've done some coaching with. And so I thought I would pop in and check on her. When I got there, that it was kind of a madhouse. There were 8 or 9 cars, lots of people coming and going. I noticed 2 different couples roaming around the yard. There was clearly another couple in the house. I went in. She didn't really have time to talk to me. She had her hands full in a very busy day. Now, suspected she would because I'm also friends with her on social media, and I saw all the social media hype leading up to the open house. Not just one post, but multiple posts over multiple days promoting the open house. Her signage was amazing. There were flags, little spin wheel things that people put in their yard around her signs. There was no way you could go down the major thoroughfare and not see that there was an open house. And there was zero chance that as you followed the signs, you weren't going to get led directly to that house. She made it easy. She also selected a house that made sense to hold open. It was in a busy area. It was a desirable property. She didn't just hold any random house open. And the day that I was there was on Sunday, and she was having her second open house because she'd also held it open on Saturday. Now, that was somebody who's committed to having more real estate conversations and building new relationships. She had bottles of water out. She had freshly baked cookies. One of the people she was speaking to, having eaten one of her cookies, was actually asking for her cookie recipe. She had mastered her scripts and dialogues. The conversation or conversations that I got to overhear her having were absolutely amazing, world-class conversations. This was an agent who was committed to entering new relationships and using open houses as a way to meet people and enter those relationships. So once again, I ask you, what is your system for holding an open house? Do you call the neighbors? Do you hand out flyers to the neighbors? Do you advertise on social media? Do you advertise even in the MLS? Are you prepared mentally when you get there? Are you rested and focused like it's a work day? Are you committed to holding an effective open house? If you aren't, then you're correct. Open houses are a horrible waste of time. So if you're not going to do open houses effectively, don't do them. But if you want to hold an effective open house, we have to change your mindset, and we have to change your preparation, and then we have to change your follow-up, because I know what this agent's doing today. She will be, if she has not already, because it's relatively early still, following up with the people that came through the open house. See, she knows that her job isn't to sell that house at the open house. She knows her job is to enter new relationships with the people who toured the open house. I was really proud of her preparation, her attitude, her mental state. Her energy was through the roof. She was friendly and engaging. That's what it takes to hold an effective open house. Now, again, she doesn't have to do that. She could have her 4 pillars not be open houses, but I can tell you, because I know, because we coach about this, one of her pillars is the open house strategy. Effectively holding an open house. If you have questions, if you want to know how to be better at open houses, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to speak to you, to give you my advice, my opinions, our proven strategies for holding an effective open house. Thanks for taking time to listen to my Monday morning drive. It's Monday morning. I usually do these middle of the week, but because I'd had that experience yesterday, I wanted to share with you. If you like the information that I provide, go to the YouTube channel, click like, subscribe, because YouTube will then tell more people about the advice that I give, and hopefully we can help more real estate agents be effective. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'll talk to you soon.